back to our next installment of
Thoughts from the A.
Okay, so just a little bit about what Thoughts from the A is going to be. The purpose is to be a fun conversation, talk about topics that are more so lighthearted, and we'll talk a little bit about highlights from the week. But we just really want to send out an air of positivity via social media, and then engage with you all, see what your thoughts are. We really enjoy conversation, bringing people together. So that's really the point of our segment called Thoughts from the A. But before we jump in, we do want to send our condolences to those that, the families that were impacted by the mass shootings.
The multiple mass shootings. Yeah, so we definitely want to send our condolences and, just got to stay prayed up and make sure that everybody's fine and just keep those people in our prayers. So,
right. The families. So, highlights for the week. So we'll start off with highlights for the week, and then we'll move into our question.
Yeah.
So what was your highlight or best moment this week?
I would say, and we have a son, by the way, 6 months old, Sterling. But I would say Sterling is the highlight of the week to me. Just because he's becoming his own little person. I mean, you can see little things in him that you do as a grown person. So just the way he interacts with me and the way he just started. Now he's rolling around the whole house now, which is crazy. At first we couldn't even get him to roll over once, and now he's trying to roll everywhere. So that's just amazing to see, and hopefully he'll start crawling. If he doesn't, as a kid, I didn't crawl at all. I actually rolled and then I started walking for some reason. But he might take that same path. You never know. But I mean, hey, it's still gonna be all right.
Yeah. So naturally, DeVar stole mine. Mine was definitely Sterling as well. So we were both off this week, so we got lots of bonding time with him.
Yeah.
So you might hear him throughout this video as well. But it's amazing to see how week to week they grow. He has 2 teeth, like we said. He's growing. He's eating, his foods. The sweet potatoes and. So it's really fun just to watch him grow and his personality starting to develop. But since you used that one, mine will definitely be the fact that it was the first week of school for most people. And that's just an exciting time. It was really encouraging to me to see so many people posting their kids going back to school, teachers that I know that are, my peers that are, starting off the school year. It's just a time of fresh beginnings, excitement around learning and seeing, what you can become. So shout out to all of the students and teachers that started back to school this week. So back to our question of the week. Why does negativity win? And background for why we're asking this. So just examples of what we mean by why does negativity win. When you go on the news, when you go on social media, those things that attract the most attention are typically things that are negative.
Right.
When people gossip, they're typically about things that are negative.
Right.
It seems that people revel in more things that are negative opposed to positivity. So why is that? Is really what we're talking about.
Yeah. I think it's basically because we as a society will connect more with the negativity than the positivity. And just because you are able to reel in with people who are feeling the similar way as you, as opposed to people that are...
But why are you feeling negative?
Because you don't want to be positive. That's the thing. It's like the thing is, people don't understand is the circumstances that you're in life doesn't define you. It's what your motives are, what you're going to do to get out of those things. That would really define it. And I think people try to blame it on their circumstances and just be like, oh, well, so I lived in the hood. So, they just have a hood mentality instead of, oh, well, I want to live out of the hood. I want to live somewhere else where they can bring a positivity to that area that they're in their life right there. But they feel like, oh, I'm stuck. Nobody wants to help me and all this stuff. And they just feel like this is it. So they see somebody else from a rags to riches type of storyline or anything like that, then it's like, oh, this person's not that good. You know what I'm saying? They got lucky or whatever. It's kind of like that person didn't really put the grind in or really try to work hard in order to get out of that.
Yeah. So, I think it really stems from insecurity.
Yeah.
And we all have insecurities as human beings. And so I think we all make ourselves feel better about insecurities or things that aren't going our way by surrounding ourselves with other people who also have things that aren't going their way, and it just feels better. But I think just too much of what you're talking about and what we want to do with this channel is encouraging a positive mindset, because I truly do believe we can all reach those goals if we set our minds to it and put those things into practice. And so we don't really want to let insecurity, we don't want to let our fears win. And it's so easy to feed into, instead of overcoming them, instead of dealing with that little bit, temporarily being uncomfortable to fight through that, we tend to just, find other things to justify, continuing and doing those same actions or not moving forward.
Yeah.
So just a couple of tips to encourage more positivity in your life. One, starting with social media. I have gone through and unfollowed people who tend to share a lot of gossip or more of the negative stories, and that has really improved my experience on social media, and that I'm only seeing things that are super positive, people who post inspirational quotes, people who have started their own businesses and it's working out, or people who are just being vulnerable, sharing things that they genuinely want to talk about, or sharing different perspectives. So that's how my social media looks. And so I really believe in feeding my mind what I want to get out. So that really has been encouraging and helpful for me. And then the second tip is trying to find ways to be intentionally positive and encourage other people. I think it's really important. We know how to be happy for other people.
Yeah.
It's rare to find people who are genuinely cheering and rooting for you, but just trying to be more of that person. And I know sometimes we get in the habit, and even myself, I'm guilty of, thinking of compliments in my head, but not always being at the forefront sharing that.
Right.
So for the past few weeks, I've been trying to be more intentional. When I think someone's doing awesome, I really want to share that and encourage that. Not only because it makes them feel good, but because, that's just one more air of positivity that I'm bringing around myself, and I think it's healthy to think and vocalize those positive thoughts.
And just going off of what you said, also, you never know what that person is going through also.
Right.
And hey, they could be having a very bad day, and you just, saying something positive to them and just bringing that positivity into their life. I mean, it could change a whole lot of things for that day to them.
Right.
So, I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. So, like I said, we just want to encourage you all to think positively. It really is healthy. And if you do decide to be more intentional on this journey, try to push the negativity out, please comment. Let us know how that experience is going for you. Encourage us. We'd love to encourage and support you if you let us know that that's what you're doing as well. Now we're moving into the last part of our segment where we play One Gotta Go.
You gotta go.
So basically, if you haven't heard of it or played before, it's when you list 4 things that are all fairly desirable, and you have to rate what your top 3 with the expectation that 4 hypothetically would
Be
not
dropped.
would be dropped, would not exist anymore.
Right.
So this week we're gonna play with our meats.
Yeah. So the options.
Poultry, seafood.
Right.
Yeah, so the options
are steak, ribs, fried chicken, and shrimp.
Yes. So, what is your first one that you absolutely keep?
I'm keeping fried chicken.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta keep my chicken. I mean, as a baby in the womb, you're predisposed to chicken because of your parents. So I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, you gotta keep the fried chicken.
Yeah. So mine, I was almost tempted, but my first one to keep is gonna be shrimp. If it was wings, like lemon pepper wings or something like that, that would be my first. But because it said fried chicken, the breaded, I really enjoy it, but it's not my favorite. I really enjoy shrimp. So especially right now, because you can go to Publix, get them to steam it, and get them to they have like 4 different seasonings that they could potentially put on it, and they do that all for free. So that's a quick run in there, grab your shrimp, and it's done. You just come back home and add your sides.
Yeah.
So shrimp is my favorite. It's juicy, it's awesome.
Yeah, I like shrimp too, and I love it, you know what I'm saying, grilled or blackened, but it'll probably be my third on my list, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because.
So what's your second?
So my second would be steak.
Steak.
Yeah, I would say steak, yeah. I love a really good steak, especially it's between medium and medium well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really good. But if you get it well done, I just feel like you kind of lose out on the flavor of the steak because I feel like it's burnt.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to each his own. I mean,
right.
You like a well done steak that's burnt, that's fine.
So, chicken your first, then steak is your second.
Steak, yep.
So, my second is going to be the fried chicken again. Because like I said, I really do like fried chicken, but it's just not the absolute favorite.
Right.
So I have the shrimp, then I'll take my fried chicken.
Okay.
I really enjoy it. So, and another thing, I don't make fried chicken in the house because I don't like fried foods in the house.
Which is crazy. I've never met
you feel some type of way
It's
about
crazy,
it.
bro. It's really
I just don't like the friedness sticking. So we have an air fryer. I will do the air fryer, but other than that, and that's another thing. So I don't eat as much fried chicken too.
Right.
But it's still my second. I get it when I go out.
Yeah.
And so my third is definitely going to be steak. Absolutely steak.
Yeah.
I love a good steak. I try not to eat it too often because it isn't as healthy, but it's so good. Especially like you said, medium well. There's one at Houston's. It's like a pineapple glazed ribeye, medium well. It's amazing. Houston's in Atlanta. Y'all need to check out their steaks.
And you still boy camp, Houston?
Hey, not me.
Houston?
I am there in Houston. And then, so that leaves, so I guess we both agree that ribs.
Yeah.
So my reason for ribs gotta go, I absolutely love a good rib. But I think
love ribs too.
Of the list, ribs are the most inconsistent.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think they're off my list. Because, my dad has really good ribs. I'm trying to think of a restaurant. Like Dreamland Barbecue in Alabama. I think I remember liking their ribs. And then I had some really good ribs at the Taste of Chicago. So there's been some certain places, but I've also been places where the ribs taste very play, like not legit. And then
they tough.
Right.
You at your cousin's house.
And I think too, like barbecue sauce.
Barbecue sauce is different for everybody because some folks want to go with, I got ribs, but they want to get the Kraft barbecue sauce.
Right.
And it's like,
or like, do you like sweeter barbecue sauce or more smoky?
Or you like the mustard, St. Louis, all that stuff, Memphis. It's crazy. So. Yeah.
So I think that's like, I love ribs, but I think just because the inconsistency, that's
right.
Why.
And everybody likes it differently. I think that's
I'm surprised we agree on one. This might be the only one gotta go we agree on, but we'll see what happens. We just want to thank you all for watching today. Each segment, each time we do an episode, like I said, we'll play a game, we'll have a question, but we do want to leave you with a quote. So our quote for this week is, "A negative mind will never give you a positive life." And so that just kind of reiterates the same topics that we've talked about this week. So whatever you feed into your mind is what you will get out, is what we believe. So try to push out that negativity this week and let us know how that works out for you. Please like and most definitely comment. We want to hear from you and support you on your journey.
Yeah, definitely. See you guys next week.